Hello, there is Rex. Come. And we are walking through an ancient site now. When everybody thinks of Scandinavia, they always think of the Vikings. But there's so much more to our history than the Vikings. The Vikings, they had a time period of about 300 years. But where did the Vikings come from? Well, they came from Denmark, Sweden and Norway. But in those countries before the Vikings, we had the Stone Age, the Bronze Age, the Iron Age, and then you come into the Viking. Here, on this place where I am at now, it hasn't been archaeology digs here. I'll leave a little bit in the description about the place. But there is about 50 stones here. There would have been a lot more, but over the years some of them have disappeared. And this would have been used from the Bronze Age. The Bronze Age dates, I think, roughly about 1700 years before Christ to 500 years before Christ. And then we are getting into the Germanic Iron Age. And the famous part of the Germanic Iron Age is the migration period from between the years 400 years after Christ to 550 years after Christ. These were Germanic tribes from Northern Europe that went on migration. They would have gone to England and down into Poland, what is now Poland. They would have gone down into what is now Germany. Some of them even came back. We have finds from back then where they did come back. Warriors, we have many warrior graves here on the island, just on Bornholm, let alone the whole of Scandinavia, like in Denmark and Sweden and Norway. It was very rich times back then for traveling, sailing and raiding and trading, if you like. This just didn't start during the Viking era. It has been known, it's been going on here for thousands of years in Scandinavia. So yeah, the Vikings, they came from the Germanic tribes of Northern Europe. And you had the later Germanic Iron Age as well, This is from the year 550 to the year 800, which is, classed as the early Viking Age in about the year 800. And these guys would have been trading and raiding as well. That's where the Vikings learned their skills from. The fathers of the Vikings. I will be showing some of the videos now. I've done some recordings that are at our local museum, with some of the finds. In fact, I'll leave a couple of finds that have been found on some of the farms on the area from the Germanic Iron Age, where it is, we know for a fact that the people here just on the island of Bornholm, they traveled down into the Roman Empire and purchased weapons, iron ore, where they made local produced weapons during the Germanic Iron Age here. And we have so many finds from that period on the island of Bornholm, from all periods, in fact, for thousands of years. That it's time for me to start to show some of them on my videos and give you an insight in where the Vikings actually existed and where they came from and who were their fathers and where they learned their trade from. This would have been the people here, you know. Not much is known about pre-Christian practices and how they practiced it. All I can say is here on the island we have no human sacrifices ever found. But Denmark, Sweden and Norway was a very violent place during the Iron Age, the Germanic Iron Age. The Germanic tribes were at war with each other constantly, and there is proof of that just on the island here. I'm going to do another video of one of the largest Germanic Iron Age gravesites in Scandinavia. That's here on the island, but that'll be in one of my videos soon. And this is where the Vikings originated from. Like I say, Scandinavia is not all just about Viking history. There is so much more to that. That's just a small part. That is like 300 years of history. Here, just where I'm walking through now, there is thousands of years of history. And how the Vikings evolved into what they became. These guys, they sailed in little boats. Not Viking ships, but they sailed in like canoe type boats. You know, they didn't have sails on, they paddled. A brave people to take on the Baltic Sea in little canoes. I tell you, I know. I sail on it myself. But I have an engine on my boat, so it's easier. But this is just an introduction into some of the how the Vikings evolved and how they became what they became. But like I say, there's so much more to Scandinavian history than just Vikings. Now I'm gonna sit here like I usually do and have a cup of coffee and say skål to the people here. There's my bag and there's my flask. I'm ready to sit here and have a coffee and chill with my best friend. And yeah, it's always nice to be at places like this. I can't describe it, but I will be explaining a lot more about Scandinavian history as my videos start to come out. I just want to also ask if you would give me some feedback on my videos and what you would like to see in my videos. Like I say, I will be showing some finds now from the Bornholm Museum. I'll actually leave you some finds which I recorded at our local museum of some of the weapons that we found and some of the artifacts that have been found on the island here. But the majority of our finds here, there has been huge amounts of treasures found here from both the Germanic tribes, the Bronze Age tribes, the Vikings. It's unbelievable how many finds are here, but most of those finds would be at the Copenhagen, over on the mainland. We have a small selection left here on the island, and I'm going to show you them now. And these are from some of the different farms on the island. Many of the farms here are still on the same spot as what the Viking farms and the Germanic farms were. But anyway, give me a bit of feedback on the video. Isn't that right, Rex? We want to know.